Welcome to our History Now podcast. Today, we're looking at the powerful story of the 761st Tank Battalion.
That's right. An incredible unit. African-American soldiers who really showed extraordinary courage during World War II.
We'll be digging into historical accounts, some news reports, personal stories, too.
To really understand how they were formed, the immense challenges they faced, both in training and combat.
And also that long wait for recognition, which they absolutely deserved.
Yeah, it took far too long.
Our goal today is to really get to the heart of this battalion's contribution. I mean, not just to winning the war.
Right, but also to that ongoing fight for equality, for respect within the military and, across America.
So where does their story begin, the activation?
It officially starts April 1st, 1942, Camp Claiborne, Louisiana.
Okay.
And this was a big deal, one of the very first black tank battalions in the Army, but formed, right in the thick of segregation.
Why form a black tank battalion then? What was the thinking, if you can call it that?
Well, the military brass back then mostly put black servicemen in support roles, like labor battalions, things like that, not combat.
Uh-huh.
So units like the 761st were, frankly, kind of an experiment. Let's see if they can handle frontline combat.
An experiment loaded with prejudice, I imagine.
Absolutely. Deeply ingrained ideas, questioning if they were even suited for it. It's pretty stark.
So what was training like under those conditions?
They went to Camp Hood. It's Fort Cavazos now in Texas. The training itself was intense. Tank warfare isn't simple.
Right.
But they were fighting on two fronts, really, learning to fight while also dealing with constant racism.
From whom?
From some white officers, definitely from civilians around the base. It was a tough environment to learn in.
Who was leading them through all this?
Lieutenant Colonel Paul L. Bates. He was a white officer.
Okay.
And by many accounts, he genuinely respected his men. He actually pushed hard for them to see combat, fighting against that internal Army prejudice.
That's significant. And wasn't there a famous name connected to the unit early on?
Yeah, that's right. Jackie Robinson.
Wow. Before baseball, obviously.
Years before. While he was with the 761st, back in 44, he refused to move to the back of a segregated Army bus.
He stood his ground.
He did. Faced a court-martial for it, even though Army rules technically desegregated those buses. But he was acquitted, partly thanks to Bates's support, actually.
An early sign of his character. So they train, they face all this, and then they finally ship out to Europe.
They land in France October 10th, 1944, attached to General Patton's Third Army.
Patton. Now there's a complex figure regarding race.
Very complex. His private writings, they show clear prejudice, doubts about black soldiers' fighting ability.
But he needed tanks, right?
He desperately needed ground power. So whatever his private feelings, he gave the 761st their shot. His speech to them was, let's call it a guarded vote of confidence. Cautious optimism, maybe.
And they went straight into the fight.
Pretty much immediately. November 44, eastern France. Heavy fighting to liberate towns like Moyenvich, Morville-le-Vic.
What were the conditions?
Awful. Bitter cold, constant mud. And technologically, they were often at a disadvantage.
How so?
They had M4 Sherman tanks. The Germans had heavier Panthers, Tiger tanks.
So they were outgunned.
Significantly. Some of the guys grimly joked their Shermans were just run-some-lighters, basically tinderboxes. It says a lot about how they were equipped, maybe how their lives were valued.
Yet, despite being outgunned, facing those conditions, they made a real impact.
A huge impact. They were crucial in the Lorraine campaign, especially taking Morville-le-Vic.
And the Siegfried Line?
Yes, breaking through parts of the Siegfried Line. That was massive. It really helped clear the path for the 4th Armored Division to push into Germany.
Then came one of the biggest tests, the Battle of the Bulge.
Right. December 44 into January 45, a really critical time. The 761st played a vital role there.
Doing what specifically?
Defending key supply lines, launching counterattacks against the Germans near Bastogne, crucially supporting the 101st Airborne who were surrounded.
So they helped stop the German advance.
Absolutely. They went head-to-head with German Panzerdivisions and were instrumental in halting that last big German offensive in the West.
That's incredible resilience, and they kept fighting right to the end.
All the way. Pushing into Germany, then Austria in 45, they were actually among the very first American units to link up with the Soviet Red Army near Steyr, Austria.
And wasn't there a connection to the concentration camps?
Yes, a deeply disturbing one. On May 4th, 1945, the 71st Infantry Division, they helped liberate the Gunskirchenlager concentration camp.
What did they find?
Something horrific. Around 15,000 Hungarian Jews, barely alive, It must have been a shocking, horrifying discovery for those soldiers.
Amidst all this, there must have been standout acts of bravery.
So many. Staff Sergeant Reuben Rivers is probably the most well-known.
He received the Medal of Honor, right? But much later.
Much later, yeah. Posthumously, in 1997, for incredible actions back in France, under heavy fire, he personally cleared roadblocks, not once but twice, and provided crucial covering fire while his unit pulled back. He'd already earned 2 Silver Stars before that. Just unbelievable courage.
And you mentioned Sergeant Warren G.H. Creasy as well.
Another amazing story. His tank gets knocked out. What does he do? Jumps out, mans a machine gun, takes out an enemy position.
Incredible.
Then later, his tank gets stuck, bogged down under fire. He's working to free it while also fighting off a German counterattack, targeting another U.S. division nearby. Earned a Silver Star for that, just raw determination.
Well, the unit as a whole, their combat record was extraordinary.
Astounding. They were in continuous combat for 183 days straight. A record.
A wreck.
An Army record for continuous time in the line. Their motto was, come out fighting. And they lived it.
Which campaigns were they involved in?
Rhineland, Ardennes, Alsace, Central Europe. They fought across 6 different countries, supporting different armies, the 3rd, 6th, 9th, at various points.
They must have inflicted serious damage on the enemy.
The numbers are pretty staggering. Reports suggest huge casualty figures inflicted on the Germans, maybe 130,000 total, with like 4,000 in just one 3-day stretch near the Siegfried Line.
And liberated territory.
Over 30 towns, several concentration camps, as we mentioned, airfields, supply dumps. They earned their nicknames. Black Panthers, sometimes Patton's Panthers.
Did they get any official recognition at the time for this level of performance?
General Lear, who commanded the Second Army, actually reviewed them and rated the unit superior. So at some levels, their skill was recognized.
Okay, so superior performance, incredible sacrifice. What happened when they came home? A hero's welcome?
Sadly, no, not really. The unit was deactivated in Germany in June 46. The soldiers came back to the same segregated America they'd left.
So the discrimination just continued.
Absolutely. Despite everything they'd proven, everything they'd done, the prevailing racism meant they didn't get that immediate recognition, those accolades they deserved. It's heartbreaking, really.
How long did it take for any formal unit recognition?
Decades. It wasn't until 1978, 30-plus years later, that the entire battalion received the Presidential Unit Citation for their heroism.
1978? That's a long time to wait.
A very long time. And as we said, Reuben Rivers' Medal of Honor wasn't until 1997. But the unit did earn other awards, eventually 11 Silver Stars, 69 Bronze Stars, in addition to that Medal of Honor.
So their legacy, thankfully, wasn't entirely lost. It did have an impact, right?
Oh, definitely. Their performance, alongside other Black units, was undeniable proof of combat capability. It absolutely played a part in chipping away at those racist assumptions.
Did it influence policy?
Many argue it contributed significantly to President Truman's decision in 1948, Executive Order 9981.
The order to desegregate the military.
Exactly. The performance of units like the 761st made the arguments for segregation much harder to sustain.
And how is their story being kept alive today?
Well, in museums like the National World War II Museum, the Army's Armor and Cavalry Collection, they preserve the history.
Are there other ways people can learn about them?
Yeah, there are documentaries like the 761st, The Forgotten Battalion, and books too. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote one called Brothers in Arms. His father actually served in the 761st.
Wow, a personal connection there. Is there a physical memorial?
Yes, thankfully. In 2005, a monument was dedicated at Fort Hood, not Fort Cavazos. It's got a life-size sculpture, granite tablets, a permanent tribute to their service, their sacrifice for, liberty and democracy.
So when you pull it all together, what's the lasting meaning of the 761st?
I think it's multi-layered. It's about incredible bravery under fire, yes, but it's also about resilience in the face of deep injustice at home.
They fought 2 wars, in a sense.
They absolutely did. And their success wasn't just on the battlefield, it was a blow against segregation. Many veterans became leaders back home, contributing to the civil rights movement. Their legacy is tied directly to that larger struggle.
It really is a powerful story. The 761st Tank Battalion reminds us of the incredible courage of Black soldiers fighting for a country that didn't always fight for them,
Exactly. Their dedication facing enemy tanks on one side and systemic racism on the other, it's just immense. And their actions definitely helped pave the way for change.
When you think about individuals like Reuben Rivers or the collective identity of the Black Panthers, what does it make you consider?
It makes you think about patriotism under duress, doesn't it? About fighting for ideals even when the reality you live falls far short. And it highlights that long ongoing fight for true recognition for equality that didn't end in 1945.
We really hope you'll look more into the 761st. Use some of those resources we mentioned. Their story offers so much about courage, about perseverance.
And about that continuous work needed to build a truly just and equitable society. It's a history we all need to know.